It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. It's Friday. It's the Friday we have all been waiting for. It's the first Friday of the school year. At least for me, I am so excited to have a long weekend. It's Labor Day weekend here in the States. I don't know where you guys are, but here we have a long weekend. You may be asking, Donna, what are you doing for your long weekend? Are you just planning on chilling by the pool, drinking margaritas, relaxing, barbecuing? No, I am going to be on the baseball field with my son. I will be watching baseball in the heat all over the valley. That's what I'll be doing as a baseball mama. But that's what we sign up for, all in the name of love for our children. But I digress because the most important part of the weekend is the hour I get to spend with you guys. We have so much to talk about today. And more importantly, we have such an exciting guest. I can't wait to introduce her to you guys, those people that don't know all about my guest today. I'm going to introduce her to you in just a moment. Everyone, get ready. It's your daily dose of Donna. She is a hard-working entertainment and royal reporter, the host of Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered 5 days a week here on YouTube and on podcast. Welcome to the show, Kinsey Schofield.
I mean, how am I supposed? I feel like I need 3 more Red Bulls to match that incredible energy. I am so impressed. That is the hype girl of my dreams right there. Thank you so much, Donna. By the way, you were the best on. You were the best guest on my podcast. My audience was so in love with you, and the comments were so sweet. Like 2 brilliant girls. I was like, okay, all right. Look at you making me look good.
I mean, anytime we can get the word brilliant near us, I'll take it. You're so fun to talk to because you report on a lot of royal news, which I never do. I'm so scared to report on royal news.
Oh, they'll kill you.
I'm not joking. The one time I ever reported on the Princess Catherine, I will never go there again.
Well, that was a really difficult time to be like a professional reporter because these were just online conspiracies. And as a professional reporter, you're like, I'm not going anywhere near that. Then you'd be on live television in Australia and the host would be like, is it true she's in a coma? And you're like, what? Like you're trying so hard to stay above the fray and not give any oxygen to these rumors. And then you're like hit with some random person in Australia that has no shame and is going to, ruin your career within 30 seconds. So that was a really difficult thing to navigate. And when we found out she had cancer, I immediately was on TV and I broke down crying because I felt like we had forced her to have to come out and tell us what was going on with her, like this very private battle. I was like, it's because every day we go on television and there's this question surrounding where she is. And so I felt really guilty that this was a young mother that told us. I've been quiet about this because I wanted to keep it from my children as long as possible and wanted to wait until we understood how we were going to explain this to them. But I tried, to avoid that chat, that conversation as much as possible. The where is Catherine? And also, I will say, I got in trouble a couple of times because I knew she was picking up the kids from school. So I said a couple of times, I know she's picking up the kids from school.
Like she's around.
Yeah. And so I got in trouble from the palace because that was a security breach. And then not too long after that, TMZ shows up and snaps a picture of her outside of Windsor. So but I was so frustrated with like the direction that the conspiracies were going that I did say, yeah, I mean, I know she's around Windsor, and once we all have a better understanding of what's going on, I feel like we're going to feel really guilty about the way we behaved throughout this process.
Yeah, I admit. I mean, as someone, I hear like a little bit of an echo on your end when I talk. I don't know if that's on me or what. I don't know.
I want to make sure the chat doesn't hear that too.
Yeah, you guys let me know if you hear an echo.
I'm gonna mute you I'm gonna mute my mic when you talk.
Oh, Okay, maybe that's a better idea. I don't know. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore, but can you hear me? But that's gonna be so annoying that to go back and forth to unmute, mute, mute, I'm blah, blah, blah. Okay. Um, but what I was thinking was, I when that happened, I'm trying to think when that was. Was it over a year ago? It was. Do you remember the month?
When she announced she had cancer, I think it was in, oh my gosh, I don't. All of my dates just fled together. So what month are you talking about? When we found out she had cancer, or when just the chaos kind of exploded?
Like when she was missing, when we couldn't find her and everyone was theorizing in conspiracy theory. Do you guys have if you guys know in the chat what month that was? I want to say it was like April of some sort of time.
I mean, it was like 6 months. It was this it was because she announces at the beginning of January, along with King Charles, this is right after the Christmas holiday, that she's having to have surgery, abdominal surgery, and it was like, they were very careful in the way they described it to us, like, it was like pre-scheduled abdominal surgery, because they wanted us to not freak out. So they were like pre-scheduled abdominal surgery. And then they said, by the way, you're not going to see her for a while, and we're not going to give you regular updates, because we're just going to wait till she feels better. And 3 to 4 months after the pre-scheduled abdominal surgery, um, people start saying, like, well, no, seriously, what's going on? Because no one got the sense that we wouldn't see her for months at a time. We thought she'd be down for a few months, maybe a month, maybe 2 months. But I think it's 3 or 4 months after the pre-scheduled abdominal surgery where the internet really starts to explode
Mm.
with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I that was a goof I made, and I take full responsibility because I don't report on the royal family ever for good reason now that I know, because I just don't know enough about it. Look, I'm from America, born and raised. The closest I know to our royal family now is Taylor and Travis. I admit. Okay, Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are my royal family. So when I was going into it and talking about it, I was kind of, I have to admit, like, just like the gossipy side of me, I was into this like conspiracy theory of it. Oh, that may help, just going onto headphones. Yeah. I was into like the gossipy side of it. And I remember kind of falling into that, but I felt really guilty when her cancer diagnosis came out, and I really apologized for even just going into the like, ooh, where is she? Where is she? Because you said you were aware that she was very present still picking up her kids from school. You
Yes,
forget that there's
but
human beings behind all of this stuff
But
sometimes,
I
you know?
also knew that we weren't seeing her for a reason, and that it was bad. So, um, I'm glad she's in remission now.
She
She
looks
said
great.
she does. She said, she's always very humble about it, saying, "I'm in the clear, but not forever. Like, this is something I'm gonna have to continuously watch." So, she's so sweet and gracious and humble. And I forget, which is horrible, but we see so much of him. I forget that King Charles is still dealing with cancer. He goes to London once a week to continue to fight his battle. So
Yeah.
a tough time for the royal family, and a difficult time to be a royal reporter with such heavy news. But yeah, I can understand why you decided to bail after that backlash. I imagine that was hard.
Now it kind of transfers over. We'll talk a little bit about Megyn season 2 because Megyn season 2 just dropped and I had to watch after I saw your clip with
Maureen.
what's her name, Maureen. Sorry,
Mhm.
thank you.
Yeah.
Brain fart. Clearly I maybe I do need a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday long weekend. But with Maureen talking about Meghan Markle and Chrissy Teigen, I had to watch that episode. I didn't even get through the whole thing. I have to
Yeah.
be honest. It's hardly watchable, that show. But that's just maybe because I'm just not in the demo for Megyn with Love Megyn.
You and
And
I
I
talked about this though. What is her demo? Because she said in the Bloomberg interview, "I know my demo. My demo loves it." And you and I are both watching that going, "What is your demo?" Because you would
not
think it
me.
would be us. Yeah, but we're the same age. We love pop culture. You know what I mean? Like we're hip. I'm assuming because these are
Is
our
that who her
jobs.
demo is? Hip hop culture people? I don't think so.
Well, I that's what I'm saying. I clearly we're not, but I'm wondering, does she know who her demo is? Because I watched that. I watched it and I thought to myself, and tell me if you're wrong, because you have this relationship with Hollywood too. You have this history with Hollywood. When I was watching it, I thought, I think she thinks her demo are older royal watchers because the royal community can be older. If you look at YouGov polls about the people that still believe in the British monarchy, they tend to lean older. It's the younger generation that doesn't really lean into the idea of monarchy. And so I was like, does she think that this older demo that loves the British royal family likes her? Because they don't, because of the way she treated the British royal family. And I'm wondering if that's the disconnect here, that she assumes, or a table full of suits are like, well, who loves the British royal family? Murder, She Wrote. So they build an entire show around this demo that is rejecting her because they feel like she hurt the monarchy.
Yeah, it would be a very interesting like focus group. I would be very curious. I mean, curious from the chat here. I have a variety of people. Some really, really, really love Meghan Markle. Some can't stand her. You guys tell me, who do you guys feel is Meghan Markle's demo? I'm very curious. Is it young moms? Is it homemakers like Susie Homemakers? Is it like trad wives vibes? Is it older women? Is it the same kind of people that would watch, Gwyneth Paltrow content? We've talked about that before. I don't know. It ain't me. I'm
I
not for it. But
I
I
would
don't
watch Gwyneth Paltrow content though, and I can't even afford Gwyneth Paltrow stuff, but I would watch it. Something about her personality. It's so weird that I'm enamored with it.
a lot of people are saying Blake Lively.
A
That
hundred,
would be
what?
her demo.
100%, 100%.
Yeah. 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 Do you think it's just it's inspirational vibes? Like, because it gives an inspirational energy, Meghan Markle's show, like it's like pretty. It's like the
I
whole
mean,
the whole energy of it is just pretty.
it's visually stimulating, yes, but I don't want to sit around with Chrissy Teigen and make ugly ass flower jewelry. I'd rather die in a fire. Like, what?
So, okay. The clip that you and Maureen talked about with Chrissy Teigen,
Oh
and
my
we'll
God.
just talk about it very briefly. I can't. Okay, I'm going to be honest here, you guys. It's Kinsey Schofield unfiltered, but today it's Donna Bowling unfiltered. Chrissy Teigen gets on my last nerve. I find her so hard to enjoy. She is cringe times 1,000. She is unlikable. She thinks she's funny. She is problematic. Like, if you think Ramona Singer from Real Housewives of New York is problematic, like Chrissy Teigen has so many series of problematic things on her list. I really, truly don't like Chrissy Teigen for a lot of reasons. But she's on the show and she's talking about these tattoos. Explain the scene that happens.
Yeah, so Megan's like, we're supposed to believe that these women who haven't seen each other in 20 years are friends. They were both on Deal or No Deal together. And so Megan's invited Chrissy Teigen, who's shown her support throughout the media a couple of times. That's why she's on this show. Over for snacks and to DIY some ugly ass flower necklaces that will end up at the bottom of a drawer. So, they're probably already there. And so Megan's like, we're going to pick flowers based on our kids' birthdays. And Chrissy Teigen's like, oh, that's a great idea. And then she has to roll up her sleeve and look at the tattoos she has. She's had tattooed on her body her children's birthdays because she cannot remember them. And then she can't remember if one is a 16 or an 18. So she has to yell for John Legend unmiked in John.
John,
And John
which
Legend.
birthday
Yeah.
is whose?
And he's
She
like,
says.
it's the 16th, even though Megan was looking at her arm going, that's an 18. John Legend's like, it's the 16th. So she doesn't know her children. I mean, like, I don't have children, but I have dogs, and each one of all four of them get their own birthday party. I know my dog's birthdays. Okay. Like, she has children, and she not only had to have their birthdays tattooed on her body, she cannot read the tattoo. And I just thought, This is not a relatable moment. This is not a cute moment. I just look at this and I think, we know that this isn't Meghan Markle's house. We know you guys aren't friends. You've acknowledged that you haven't seen each other in 20 years. Is there anything about this show that is real? You know, like, is there anything about this program that's real? Like, you don't even know your own child's birthday. Like, you're not going to win Mother of the Year. So it's just hard to digest.
Is that supposed to be funny? I don't know my
Exactly.
kid's birthday.
Thank you.
That's
That's what
not funny. There's nothing funny about that. That's actually so cruel to not know your kid's birthday. Listen, I'm going to admit, my mom forgot my birthday one year.
like
The way
16
I give her
candles.
shit, we laugh about it so hard now. But like it happens, life happens. You forget your kid's birthday, but I was 33 years old. Like I wasn't a young 5-year-old, you know? You cannot forget your kid's birthday when they're young kids. That's weird that you have to tattoo it on your arm and you still don't remember it. What's
Right.
going on up there that you don't remember your kids' birthdays?
Right. Well,
That's
you know,
really strange.
I mean, I thought that this, from a PR perspective, was such a nightmare because Megyn has been dealing with bully allegations since 2021, when Valentine Lowe reported that Valentine Lowe, who is a royal reporter, had some internal emails that both Harry and William's communications officer sent to some people involved with Prince William's office, saying that Megyn has bullied 2 people out of a job, and I'm concerned about her behavior going forward. What if we lose more employees? And by the way, people that work at the palace, they make nothing. So Prince William and Catherine are like overly kind to them because they know that they make pennies, and they know that they're there because they believe in the monarchy and the future of the monarchy, not because you're making bank. And so William was horrified that and actually Harry goes into a physical fight they had about William confronting him about Meghan's behavior towards staff in Spare. And so Meghan's got these bully allegations hanging over her head. She says they're not true. But Chrissy Teigen has openly apologized for her comments towards Courtney Stodden as a teenager on Twitter, telling her to take a dirt nap. I mean, some other really private messages that were just unnecessary and cruel to a teenager who was navigating. I mean, Courtney Stodden will tell you today.
Depression,
Yeah,
addiction, like horrible stuff.
and she,
Horrible stuff.
and they will tell you today, Courtney will tell you today that she feels like she was being groomed at the time by her 50-year
Older
old
man, yeah.
their 50-year-old husband. And so to deal with that pressure from Chrissy was really horrible. And so to have this person standing next to you in a kitchen and you guys are laughing and joking and doing arts and crafts, and it's just
Making boba.
boba, and you're just like, what world is this? You know, we both live here where image is everything. If I would have put Megyn next to some actual saints to try to shake off that reputation, you know what I mean? Not other people that have been accused of similar behavior, because then you're like, oh, like attracts like. Where's Ellen DeGeneres? You know,
Oh
where
my
is
God.
she?
Rowan Blake and Amber Heard and all of them. I just was on Billy Bush's show earlier this week, and he shares a studio with Howie Mandel. So I met Howie and we spoke for a while, the 4 of us with Billy Bush's producer. And Howie is so nice, so kind. But we spoke about Deal or No Deal and about Megyn. And I said, so what were your thoughts about Meghan Markle and Deal or No Deal? He goes, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't remember her so much on the show. Like, I don't. Okay. He's like, there were so many of them. Like, they're kind of, this is before, obviously, she got Suits. This was before she was a recognizable name. But I do remember she got some press when she said that she was one of the many. And she kind of said that she felt like she was a piece of meat. She
Yeah.
was like, she was treated like a piece of meat. And he was like, I got some press after that too, because I said, like, you thought you were a piece of meat. Like, I was just like one. You guys were the whole show. I was like a piece of sashimi. And he was laughing about it. He said he was kind of like annoyed by that comment. Here in Los Angeles, where you can find so many beautiful girls that could get a job like that, to kind of make a little dig at a comment at a first show like that,
I
it's
felt like a bimbo. I felt like, you know what, you feel like you didn't have to feel like a bimbo. You could have been like, this is the opportunity that's going to change my life,
and we were talking about this also, and this is a separate like story about a Deal or No Deal model, but I did go to high school with one of the Deal or No Deal models who had just graduated law school, and she ended up getting kind of like scouted and
Wow.
to be a deal or no deal model and took the job being a deal or no deal model. So there were some very smart women on that stage as deal or no deal models. It's not like all idiots were up there bimbos. There was some like really smart, wonderful women up there as well who amounted to be like really incredible people. So bimbo schmimbo.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. Let's move on and start talking about some other stuff. We've got some really, really interesting stories today. Yesterday, did you see this video of Megyn Kelley tearing Blake Lively a new one? We were all talking about it on yesterday's show. I played it for everyone. Megyn Kelley announces out of nowhere, because we're past subpoena gate,
Yeah.
that she was one of the people that got a subpoena. And no one had heard this. And people are, shocked because it would have been public, people think, like, Candace Owens was public, Perez Hilton was public, and so many of the other big ones were public. And actually, I spoke to a few people that were subpoenaed, and they were kind of almost a little, I don't want to say annoyed, but a little bit annoyed. Like, why didn't she join us in the fight? Why didn't she talk about it? But I thought the overall message of Megyn Kelley was great, which was basically, you're pathetic. You're a bully. How dare you come after myself and all the content creators that are working their butts off? You do not have that privilege. You move on. We don't like you for our own reasons. Like, did that resonate with you? What were your thoughts
Yes.
on Megyn's attack?
So first of all, Zack on your live stream yesterday needed a hug. Like, I wanted to jump into the screen and hold him in the back seat of that Uber. But
Sweet Zack.
sweet Zack, I hope you've checked on him.
I did, and
Okay, good.
he did a video after, but I think he finally turned around and realized, like, the fact that he got picked from Megyn Kelley out of every other creator shows that he's on Megyn's radar.
Yeah,
I think
and you
that's
know what?
not a negative thing.
Can I tell you why I don't believe Megyn about not knowing who he is? Because he's done some of the funniest Meghan Markle themed videos that I've ever seen on the internet. That's how I know who he is. And Megyn Kelley and I are on Marklegate 24/7. So I have a pretty strong feeling that that's exactly where she knows him from. I think she does know him. I thought that the
Aw.
video was great. Megyn's video was great. I think part of the reason we don't like people like Meghan Markle or Amber Heard or Blake Lively is because they live in victimhood. And when it comes to Megyn Kelley, I get, why didn't she want to rally with us? I actually think that I'm surprised I didn't think about that sooner, because Megyn Kelley has a serious legal background. She studied at Albany Law School. She spent nearly a decade as a corporate litigator at top firms, but before she transitioned into journalism. That experience representing major clients, handling some of those complex cases, it gave her the expertise, the legal expertise she now brings to her commentary on SiriusXM. But I'm wondering if we like people like Megyn Kelley because she never goes the victim route. She'd rather tell us at the end, when she felt victorious, this dragon tried to slay me, and I slapped her. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't come out and go, gosh, Blake Lively is picking on me. She goes, Blake Lively came at me and I had her, So I wonder if some of us are attracted to her because she doesn't linger in the victimhood. We never hear about bad days. She's always like, I trampled this. I owned it. But to your point, someone leaked to TMZ before any of these people were subpoenaed, the list of people that were going to be subpoenaed. Remember Perez Hilton being like, I don't know what they're talking about. I haven't received anything. And then like hours later, Perez is like, oh, received. So
Yeah.
why would you not leak her name on that list? Because somebody on Blake's team leaked that list before a lot of those people even had that subpoena in their hands.
So I think, in my opinion, I think that something did happen time-wise where it didn't come in time. She did say in the video, and we can rewatch it if we need to, but she did say something that time-wise they did miss a deadline. Didn't she?
Yeah.
There
like,
was
and
a wording.
that's why she felt victorious, because they missed a deadline. So she was trying to take the position of winning because they weren't playing by the schedule, or they missed something that was crucial.
Yeah, I think had they not missed that deadline, she would have to, just like everyone else, just like Candace, just like Perez, just like Andy Signor, and all of them, she would have had to go through the entire process with an attorney and everything, and go through that motion to quash. Um, she wouldn't just be able to say no, just like
Hmm.
everyone else. It would have been on the docket. We would have seen it all. You don't
Right.
have the authority to just bypass all the public docket content. Something happened. It either went past the deadline or not. Now, however, interestingly enough, and this makes me question it all. And I don't want to question it all because I like Megyn in this case. I like Megyn's attack on Blake. I think Megyn is doing a phenomenal job speaking for the content creators and against Blake. However, according to this People magazine article, it says that Blake is denying subpoenaing Megyn Kelley.
People
Her
Magazine,
team.
have you noticed,
Yeah.
by the way, that People Magazine, Meghan Markle loves People Magazine because People Magazine is very celebrity friendly. Like they rarely do, I mean, you give them a press release and it says from the offices of Meghan Markle or Blake Lively, and it goes right up on People Magazine. They love the access they have to celebrities, so they lean more towards giving them the type of coverage they'd like so that they can get more of that coverage versus challenging celebrities the way we see like somebody like Daily Mail do. But look, the wording is so interesting to me. At no point in this litigation has Miss Lively served a subpoena on Megyn Kelley. Well, we obviously don't visualize Blake Lively walking up to Megyn Kelley.
Walking.
Yeah. So like a part of me wonders if that was specific, but also, Megyn Kelley, what if it was her booker that was subpoenaed? What if it was her producer that was subpoenaed? What if it was maybe they didn't subpoena Megyn Kelley because she is such a larger entity? Maybe Blake Lively's attorneys got on LinkedIn and found out exactly who books for her show, exactly who produces her show. And maybe they went that route to figure out if there was somebody from Justin Baldoni's team whispering things into the Megyn Kelley show's ear.
Well, it says Deadline reported that while Lively's legal team did not directly subpoena Kelley and her show, they did subpoena Red Seat Ventures, a company that has provided sales support, production, distribution, and marketing, branding, and sales support for content creators like Kelley. The outlet reported.
I'm with them. I didn't realize that. I would
Oh my
have
God,
gotten
you're
you the
with Red
scoop.
Seat Ventures.
Yeah, I would have gotten you the
This
scoop.
this is your podcast company?
Yeah, so I really wish I would have I'd known this, or I would have gotten some of my bosses on the phone and been like, "Can you tell me anything?"
Oh my God, that's hysterical.
That is so
So
funny.
it's basically it's the same company that Maureen's with too then,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And
yes,
Link and all of you guys.
yes. So basically, that's interesting to me because while Red Seat Ventures, we're under this umbrella, Red Seat Ventures is not going to be the person that puts a rundown together for a show every day. Red Seat is not going to be the person that fields fields source material or does any sort of research before a show, or fact checking. Red Seat is not, they're not going to have any access to an anonymous tip line email. Do you know what I'm saying? Like whoever subpoenaed Red Seat. Here's my issue with Blake and Ryan and this whole Megyn Kelley thing. I know that they are wealthy, but finding out that they tried to subpoena her through the company that handles our advertising or whatever, on her quest to destroy Baldoni, it gives you an idea of how absolutely nonsensical and delusional their legal strategy has become. What a waste of
They got nothing.
resources.
They got nothing.
Did anyone do their due diligence? I just think that this is a battle that they're never going to win. I mean, Red Seed Ventures cannot give them any of the type of information they'd be looking for. Again, there's no fact checkers there. They have no access to any sort of anonymous tip lines. No producers work there. It's a completely separate entity. Like I know we've had this conversation before, but it reeks of the intimidation factor. Like, we're just trying to intimidate you. So we're going to go after your advertising company. So your advertising company might go whisper in your ear, maybe, hey, could you lay off Blake Lively because we don't want to jeopardize any future income. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Totally. And by the way, like when you're an independent podcaster, which Megyn Kelley is, technically she's under Red Sea Ventures for advertising, just like you are, but you don't have to check in, as I don't. We don't have to check in. Like, I get my ad reads through a company. I
yeah,
don't have to go to them and say, can I talk about A, B, and C? I come on this show every single day, as you do. We make up our own rundowns. We talk about whatever the F we want to talk about. I don't get told you can or cannot talk. So just like Megyn Kelley does, there is no one telling us or dictating to us what our parameters are, who we can email, who we can talk to. Megyn Kelley is in charge of that. There's no question. So that is wild to go to someone that handles yeah, exactly, that deals who she's going to read ads for.
yeah.
That's crazy. That's so random.
It's either lazy and totally uneducated, or again, it's just the whole point of all of this is intimidation, because then because yes, I mean, I guess if I did something awful, Red Seat could come to me and say, your content is jeopardizing our relationships, either straighten up or you're out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's no way Red Seed or whatever, Red Seat would
Yeah.
ever go to Megyn Kelley, one
No,
of their top
no.
producing shows, and say, like, watch out.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, you're
They
right.
would
You're
be
right.
like, shut up. Like, there's no way. Like, I'm sure they quashed it in 2 seconds.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's a pretty
So
big
they
company.
probably were one of those 107 content creators, technically under the 107, And we also found out yesterday, so random, that Blake Lively, not actually Golden, is a content creator. She's a lawyer. I don't know if you know who she is. She's on TikTok and YouTube too. But she, let me see if I can quickly find out. I know that she's sick right now, but she posted on her TikTok that she's like, how did this happen? And just completely go under like the radar, that she found out that there was a completely new, um, I have to find it. I don't even know where to find it, but there was a completely new uh Blake Lively versus Brian Friedman's private investigators firm. Blake Lively is now subpoenaing Brian Friedman and his law firm's private investigators firms.
That's insanity. Like,
It's cuckoo.
I mean, these people don't, I mean, I loved Blake and Ryan before all of this happened. And so there's no way I will sit through a Blake Lively movie going forward. I don't think I can sit through a Ryan Reynolds movie going forward. Their funds are limited is basically what I'm trying to say. I'm sure he has a great marketing company. I'm sure that he feels confident in his sports team and everything, but their funds are not unlimited. And this seems so irrational and so irresponsible money-wise. I mean, not only like, you can't go ask the other guy's attorney for any information they have on you. I mean, that's private and protected until the actual legal case goes to court, right? But the idea that they would waste so much money frivolously on things that are just impossible.
So, yeah, totally. And yesterday, so yesterday I went down a rabbit hole, with my girlfriend on the phone, my friend Molly Dare. She and I were going down a rabbit hole because I reported a couple days ago how Ryan Reynolds has he's really starting to slowly, it's not slowly. He's basically dropped Blake Lively socially on his Instagram. And I always say, in the world of housewives, the first, not even housewives, but let's just use housewives, Kyle and Mauricio. This is Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards and Mauricio. The first step when I found out that they were breaking up was when you started to notice, why aren't they posting each other on their social
Oh
media?
my God, girlfriend for me, it was Catherine Dennis and Caleb from Southern Charm. Remember when Catherine, the
Oh,
redhead, stopped
yes.
posting Caleb and all of a sudden he disappeared from her Instagram? I was like, I literally, like, this is so shame. As I'm wearing my Miss Pat t-shirt, I literally
I love it.
so shamelessly was like, page 6, go look at Catherine's Instagram because Caleb is gone.
Oh my God. Wait, hold on. Enrique said he posted something today. Did he? I
Oh.
swear I told you he's watching my Instagram. He knows. I mean, he's watching my show. He's like, I'm going to do this for Donna. Did
Oh my
he
gosh,
post
she's
something today? We have
stalking
to pull it
you.
up right now. I'm pissed.
Ryan Reynolds is watching you. It's because you're blonde
Okay.
and gorgeous.
But he posted it on his stories or he posted it on his feed? Let's see. We're going to find it. We're going to find it. If it's on his stories, that's like a quick throwaway.
Stories.
Okay, hold on. I'm pulling it up. No, I don't see
Wait,
anything
I don't
on
see
his
anything.
stories.
I see he's posted stories. Time 100, time 100. I don't see anything. Does he have us blocked?
Anything on his no, I see his stories, but I don't see anything about Blake.
I don't see anything about Blake either.
Do I have Blake blocked? Why can't I see anything about Blake? Oh. Yeah, but it's not about Blake. It's about he posted, but it's not about Blake. Oh, Blake's in the picture. Okay, I'll show you.
Oh
guys.
yeah, but
Hold
this
on,
isn't.
hold on.
Oh wait, this is like it's a carousel.
It's not. Let me pull you here. Okay, it's not like a Blake picture. It's not a for Blake. Okay, so this is the first picture. It says gut punch. Ollie. Oh, speaking of Ollie dog food, use code daily dose, lowercase daily dose for 75% off right now, you guys. 70. Oh, whoops. Bye, everyone. Bye. I lost Kinsey and I lost Ryan. 75% off your welcome box for Ollie. OLLIE. It's the best food. My doggies love it. Okay. Gut punch. Ollie is a big reason we're in the league today. So he's talking about Rexom. This is everything he does is for Rexom. Sorry. It's not about Blake. This is not about Blake. Okay.
No.
So he talks, for the love of that's holy. Do not tell my mom, his creepy mom. I'm just going with it. His mom is creepy. After that video I saw about the, when she did the hello, like her. For the love of all that's holy, do not tell my mom her boyfriend is changing shirts. Tam Tam is unpredictable. I'm sorry. Ryan Reynolds has a weird relationship with his mother. I'm saying it. Allegedly. Swindon can expect her to storm the pitch to provide fresh orange slices to Ollie without warning. She's 80 years old, but homegirl is strong. Despite it making no sense at all, she just now qualified for the 1988 Olympics. We suspect she's on something a little stronger than calcium supplements. Why does he always refer to drugs?
Yeah.
Her birthday card to the Hugh Jackman. It's not even about Blake's birthday.
No.
It's about Hugh Jackman's birthday, his real lover, allegedly. You guys, it's weird. This is not a birthday at all. This has nothing to do with Blake.
And because he used to do the ooey gooey over the top, I'm so in love with my wife post is the point. Like he used to really, and he would just post pictures of her alone on red carpets, remember? And just kind of be like,
constantly.
And she didn't look good, but that's until we knew her heart. And now that we know her heart, we have second thoughts when we see her on a red carpet.
And by the way, am I crazy? But this is like this is when they were all there, wasn't it? Because this is what she was wearing when they were all there for that big event, that big win. This is not a new picture of her.
I mean, I guess we got a photo of her, but again, buried
he put a picture, but it's more about him and his family.
Yeah.
It was more about finding pictures of this Ollie guy and his family.
Right.
Okay. I will say, yes, technically he involved her in the pictures, but the point is that why I bring this up is that yesterday I had this long conversation with Molly and we were chatting about, Zack Peter is here. Am I seeing Zack Peter here? Wait, you have to tell Kinsey, you have
Hi.
to tell Zack what you said about Zack earlier,
Oh,
about when you saw him in the car yesterday on my show.
I wanted to hold him against my chest in the back of that Uber. I just wanted to hold him. I was so sad for him. He seemed so like defeated. I believe that Megyn Kelly knows exactly who he is because I know exactly who he is because I love his Meghan Markle videos. His Meghan Markle videos are hilarious. And that is
See?
that's Megyn Kelly's beat. So I'm convinced she knows exactly who he is.
It's a
Sexual
sexual
harassment.
harassment. Why are you putting his head against your chest,
It's a
Kinsey?
comfortable place. Ask my
In your
dogs.
bosom? In your
Yes.
bosom? Okay. So, so he it's interesting. Okay, so this is what we were talking about. We were saying about him slowly releasing Blake, right? But we were talking about the Taylor and Travis of it all. And this is really all I care about because Taylor and Travis are living their best moments right now. And as you
Yeah.
saw yesterday, they were at this game, this like smaller football game, and they were so cute. Their first time together as an engaged couple and like so in love. And everyone's like goo goo gaga for Taylor and Travis. And you know, Ryan is kicking himself that he can't be part of this moment, even more than Blake, I think.
Yeah.
Ryan is dying that he can't be hanging out with Travis right now. So the fact that Taylor Swift named a song off her folklore album, Betty, the song Betty, has all three, James, Inez, and Betty's names in that song. She used all three of Blake Lively's kids' names in an album, and she was that quick to drop one of her friends that she
Mhm.
used her kids' names that she was a godmother for. You wouldn't you think for 1 second that Ryan Reynolds would say, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call Travis and Taylor and be like, what do I need to know? Like,
Right.
what happened?
Mhm.
What do you think? Like, what are you not telling me that
Did
I
that
need to know?
Do you think that call happened and that's when Travis Kelce unfollowed him on Instagram?
No, for some reason, I think it happened after the deposition.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. I think this deposition happened on July 31st, and Ryan Reynolds went and something happened. And then he said, I need to freaking find out. And I think he probably said, and this is in my mind,
Yeah.
okay?
No, I
But
love it. I love your mind.
Taylor says, I can't do it. I'm not getting involved. But Travis, man to man, you can do it. And
Wow.
Travis says, Ryan, you and I are not good anymore because
Yeah.
of what the hell da, 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 da. I'm standing by my woman.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna tell you something. I wouldn't trust her. She lied to you.
Look, I
That's like
think
in my mind what I think happened.
I love that. I'm gonna go with that from now on. That I'm just gonna assume that that's the truth. But like, I think when it comes to Taylor, I sympathize with her here because she's in our face right now, and we it feels like she didn't disappear, but honestly, after Kim and Kanye went after her, she disappeared for years. She went over to London and she was gone and we didn't know what was going on and we got no new music. She was so depressed and heartsick over, becoming the villain, which she never thought she'd be. Like you listen to the song Castles Crumbling and you can just hear how truly defeated and disappointed she is in the way that things are going. And I think that she realized that if she stayed by Blake's side, she was going to be right back there. And she didn't want Blake. I'm sure that Blake was around for that roller coaster with her. And Blake was trying to pull her back into this drama that was only going to bring hate and negativity to Taylor Swift, who honestly has been on cloud nine for the last few years. I would want to continue to ride that cloud. So I totally understand her dismissing Blake Lively because Blake was taking her selfishly into a bad place over ego.
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. She wants to be with the human exclamation point and his
Yeah.
amazing family, and that's the Kelseys and his wife, Jason Kelsey's wife, and they just seem like a happy group. And this like down, insecure, looks at all the comments, feels like everything's about her, obnoxious vibe is over here. And she's like, no, I want to be over here. Like you start to see the light, you see what else is out there. You're like, oh,
Mhm.
people can be this good. I don't want this energy anymore. It's almost like when you can finally release yourself off like a toxic friend. Have you ever had to do that? Like, you start to realize like there's people out there that like can live life just like being happy and grateful and see the good. She probably had to finally be around that to realize like, oh, there's people that like want me to be like are downers. I don't
Right.
know. That's how I see it.
I agree with you, and I don't know the truth about Blake and Ryan. Did this poor experience on a movie set make these two absolutely miserable? And or have they been like this for a while? Like you said, like maybe they've always been critical and judgmental of people behind their backs and laughed about people behind their backs. And Taylor was just like, well, they're incredibly successful, so I'll hang around them. Or did they just become perpetually miserable after this Justin Baldoni experience? But I was with you, like after that article came out, I thought this is really bad and this explains a lot. And the second Justin Baldoni started dropping receipts, I thought, how manipulative and destructive are you, Blake Lively, to try to use something as serious as sexual harassment to bully this guy into giving you the end project. And again, I think she ultimately wanted the franchise, a franchise that I think is dead now.
It really ended with them.
Yes, it
Yeah,
gone.
no, I would venture to say that they've always been nightmares because we've heard too many stories.
Yeah.
Um, we know that Ryan Reynolds has been a challenge. He's just luckily was able to skate through his career without it coming out really publicly. The only time we had really heard public stories was that one actor.
TJ
Now I
Miller,
can't
yeah.
remember. TJ Miller, thank
Yeah.
you. That was the only public story we really had heard. The rest, somehow his PR team was amazing at shoving it under a rug, even though Alanis Morissette had written an entire album about him, even though Scarlett Johansson had said stuff. It was always shoved under a rug. This brought it out to light. It's like the light turned on and all of it came out. Blake Lively's legal battle against Justin Baldoni really brought all of the shit to the surface with both of them. Blake Lively's bad stories have been around for years and years and years. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's bad stories are still lurking in the shadows, apparently, because there aren't any.
Yeah. Poor guy. I really do feel so sorry for him because you see, they're still playing the PR game. Blake Lively wants us to think she's booked, busy, and unbothered. And I hate that because it should be Justin Baldoni that's thrusting himself back into work. And I think that he truly believes art is healing, and he's not in a position to do that right now because he's under attack. Does that make sense?
Totally. He's like sitting at home, spending time with his family, which I'm sure he adores. But come on, when you're an artist, when you're a creative, this is stifling. This is suffocating. He's
Hmm.
he's he's miserable. He has to be miserable. Not only is he miserable because he's not able to live out his dream, which is to produce and create and act and all these things, but he doesn't know what the future holds. He
Right.
doesn't know when his next ability to be able to do that. He doesn't know walking down the street. If obviously he can feel that people love him, I'm sure if he walks down the street, people will be like, Justin, Justin, because the majority of people in the world luckily like him right now. But in the grand scheme of the world, we don't know, we
Right.
don't know at the end of the day. So we will continue to follow this, but at Blake Lively she just is a bag of, I call her bitchy buzz.
I did
Bitchy,
notice that.
did I call her bitchy buzz? Bitchy buzz, bitchy booze, Betty buzz, Betty, bitter Betty. We don't like them. We don't like her. Okay, so let's move on to another story, another third story, which is crazy story. I know that you're very interested in this. This has been a wild, wild roller coaster, and it's the roller coaster of Kelley Wolf and Scott
Mm.
Wolf. We need to talk about this, but thank you for the super chat. RR, is it Ryan Reynolds? Ryan destroyed a photographer in Canada completely because he got a photo of him in Deadpool makeup before the movie was released. I've covered that before. We've
Horrible.
definitely talked about that. It has been quite a story. Um, yeah, there's Ryan has had his fights through the years. There's no question. Okay, so it has been a journey with the Kelley Wolf and Scott Wolf story. I've covered everything up until yesterday. So if you don't know what we're talking about, you can definitely go back and follow the story. You're interested in this as well?
Oh my gosh. I mean, I still can't believe the access she gave us to those children the other day when they came to
Oh
visit her.
god.
That live on Instagram,
It's
and
still on her Instagram. It's
it's
so horrible.
still on her Instagram. I mean, and it's on there forever. Their children will see it one day. And
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so yeah, I'm invested in this. I'm invested in knowing that the children are safe, and I'm a little bit of me feels it's none of my business. But as a royal reporter and an entertainment reporter, I'll talk about it. But I feel compelled to. I have so much sympathy for Kelly Wolf because I believe that there's mental illness here, and I want her to get all the help she needs. But I feel really compelled to defend Scott Wolf because he has handled everything with
Thank
such
you.
grace so far.
I 100%, I 100% am with you. I will tell you this. Okay, so first let me give you the update and let me tell you the rabbit hole I was in last night. So the update, the legal update where we were as of yesterday or Tuesday night, Monday was the very concerning live. Sadly and like shockingly, I was live on my show talking about her and her concerning social media activity over the weekend when she went live. Everyone was like, go live, show her live. So I was going live, showing it, and it happened. And I was like, oh my God, I deleted it from my live because it was so, I didn't like the fact that the kids were there. It was awful, but it stuck with me and held, like, it's been so hard to kind of like reconcile with that. Since then, the next night, she was arrested on Tuesday night. She then yesterday got charged with, let me pull up the actual article so I don't get any of the details wrong. She was charged with, hold on, I'm so sorry, 2 charges. They call them Class B charges of 2 misdemeanors.
It's for doxing, basically digitally doxing.
Oh, this was yesterday. It's so weird. It came up on People magazine and it says remains in jail. I'm like, wait, what? But it's still from yesterday. That's so strange that they haven't updated the article. But yes, it was 2 misdemeanors. It was for doxing, basically. It was endangerment, harassment, because she posted Scott Wolf's personal phone number on social media.
Isn't one of the charges too that she was posting her child's private text messages to her because that violates the court order that she's not supposed to really post anything about she's not supposed to be posting anything about what's going on in the relationship. But I think that it
Exactly.
violates her child's privacy in some way, shape, or form as well.
There's so many things that are violated. Like, I don't even know where to start except for the fact that there's so many things that are a problem here because without knowing all the laws and the legalities of it all, if you're a parent, even Kelley in a healthy mental state, which I don't believe she is at this point, you would never want this for your kids. Uh,
Mhm.
Personal text messages out, feel it like private information about the fact that your kids are crying hysterically or struggling, which she's sharing personal text messages between her and Scott that the kids are struggling. Like, it's all out there, right? She filmed a live stream a couple weeks ago where she was at her family's home trying to break into the house, into her son's bedroom. So she's like teaching the world how to break into her son's bedroom. It's very dangerous for her family's safety. But then the last straw was then these 24 hours before she got arrested. She's sharing not only where she's staying, the house that she's staying, exact address. Like, we could all Google it, Zillow it. I mean, we're seeing it on a Google map if you want. Her personal phone number, but then she's saying, here's Scott's phone number. She's sharing all these private text messages. And then Scott says that within the first, few minutes, he received 24 phone calls, hundreds of messages within 10 minutes. I can only imagine the messages weren't like, hi, hottie, how are you? I'm sure they were very, very harassing, only because I'm seeing a lot of harassing messages, even in my inbox, for covering it. And I'm
Mm.
not trying to cover it in a mean way. I'm just covering it in a way of like sympathy for the family. But a lot of women, and I'm just saying this, are projecting, I think, a lot of their own feelings about their own experiences and taking it out on Scott. It's actually really sad. Scott Wolf is getting a lot of hate right now. I'm noticing online from women who maybe have gone through some
Well,
struggles with their own divorces or something. And I feel really bad for Scott right now.
I totally agree with you. And I'm assuming that these women are taking Kelley at her word. I mean, I think it was yesterday, posted something that said like something about Scott's girlfriend or boyfriend. There's no proof that Scott is dating anyone right now. In fact, I would bet money that he's not, because this has been such an emotional roller coaster and he's all in on the kids. They show up to see her, they bring her food, they're worried about her eating, they're worried about her eating right. As he exits, he says, "We love you."
Mhm.
We see text messages where he says, "We love you, we miss you." So I think that you have to look at the evidence. Don't listen to the noise and look at the evidence. The evidence is that he's disappointed that this is the way that it's turned out, that he is concerned for his children and doesn't doesn't know what to do. I mean, the fear in his voice when he was telling the children not to enter the home, it was fear. It was, I'm worried about what could happen if she gets you alone in that home, you know?
Absolutely.
I I
Absolutely.
I think you're covering this from a really compassionate perspective, and I appreciate it. I think it's important to talk about mental health, and if we're concerned about the mental health of our friends, our family, or each other, it is something we need to communicate about quickly and regularly. Try to make any plans if necessary, because when it's not dealt with soon enough, horrible things can happen. And there are plenty of examples that we could give that say this person's mental health wasn't addressed, and these were the ramifications. These were the consequences, and they're horrible stories that we'd like to not rehash.
Totally. And like you want to say, I'd rather be safe than sorry. We've all seen just on the cover of the magazines today are stories of these things going horribly wrong, where you see, look, I don't want this to be like a story of tragedy right now because it's not yet, but like I grew up I went to school in Beverly Hills and in high school, and there was a girl that I went to school with, and I was very close with her, and I used to go to her house every single weekend and sleep over, and she lived in a beautiful home, like, very wealthy Beverly Hills home, and her dad remarried a very young woman and had twins, little babies. And literally one weekend, like, cop showed up. I wasn't there, thank God. The cop showed up, and it was like a murder-suicide situation with a very, very successful home. These things happen all the time. You have to be safe than sorry, rather safe than sorry. So Scott is doing everything he can. The fact that the police were called by Scott is not a way of pushing her down and trying to control her. I think it's trying to save her. That's
Hmm.
how I see it. She's clearly on a path of destruction for herself and for the family and for the people around her. That's how I see it. Important to say, and I'm just going to keep this up for a bit, the 988 lifeline for anyone that's feeling triggered by any of these conversations is very important to just remember. But let's go on to talk about a little bit of what's new here is that today, as of today, the Utah prosecutors are requesting what they're suggesting is an Instagram ban for her.
Ooh.
They believe that she should be and I don't know specifically if this is like, coming from a place of, from Scott Wolf's attorneys or if this is coming from the state, I don't know. But they're demanding that Kelley Wolf be banned from Instagram after the arrest after leaking Scott Wolf's cell phone and more. It's a very, very interesting conversation. I agree with a lot of this, which is sorry about all these freaking ads. They do say that she has to maintain either inpatient or outpatient medical, behavioral, psychological, or psychiatric treatment. I wish it was just inpatient. I don't want her to be an outpatient. I just think it would be better for her if she was an inpatient, but I don't know if you can control stuff like that. Um, she's also not she's ordered to not contact Scott. They have a new restraining order, and she's not allowed to, if she follows the rules, drink alcohol or use any drugs that are not prescribed by a doctor. All of that I agree with. Um, what do you think about this Instagram ban? It's
I
basically
mean,
saying that she should not be on social media.
it's difficult because if you believe in the First Amendment, then
It's
then you're
tough.
yeah, I mean, I believe in the First Amendment, but I also think that she is putting her current husband, I mean, they're still technically married, her husband and her children in physical jeopardy. She's putting them in physical jeopardy, emotional jeopardy, 100%. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that this is in the best interest of her. They want to take this tool away that is it's almost I don't know if you got this, but she does seem to be feeding off of the attention that social media gives her.
100%.
And so I think it inspires her to continue to do things and to use it. And so I feel like maybe she should not have access to it, but I can't talk you through that thought process other than to say I think it's in the best interest of her children. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I wish that technically I could say, well, legally, blah, blah, blah. But I just think, yeah, shut it down, shut the problem down. And that's the problem.
Yeah, because she has her comments off, but she is clearly very, very interested in posting for the public. I mean, why are you posting on social media? Why do we post on social media? It's not for ourselves. It's for the world. Like when you're recording it, when the kids came over that day, she kept saying, "My lawyer told me to record this," but she wasn't recording it. She was live streaming it. You
Right.
live stream something for the public. You don't live
Mhm.
stream something for a recording. So it is definitely a public cry for attention in some capacity. I will say something, and this is going to be a little bit hard to watch to see. Well, maybe not hard to watch. Maybe it's going to be a little like it gave me such a sympathy for Kelley because you kind of forget that Kelley is like not in her right mind in this moment. We've been watching her for the last 2 months spiraling and then this kind of like I mean, she's struggling. It's in the public court police report that Scott said she is diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. Okay. Schizoaffective disorder is technically, I mean, what is it? It is, and like I said, I am not a doctor, but according to it is a mental health condition that combines symptoms of schizophrenia and a mood disorder such as depression and a bipolar. It has hallucinations and delusions. It has um it has delusions of grandeur.
Oh,
You can have it's very much a lot of what we've been seeing. It's like the markers are all there, okay? It's a lot of what how a lot of mania, major depression, ups, downs, delusions, hallucinations, disorganized thinking, bizarre and unusual behavior, manic moods, having a hard time functioning, um, problems managing personal care, et
mm,
cetera, okay? Um, there's a lot of causes, there's a lot of complications. Definitely drinking and doing drugs do not help the case at all. It's incredibly sad. But you forget that at one point she was not this way or she was medicated maybe properly. And I started watching a lot of YouTubes last night because there's a lot of YouTubes of Kelley and Scott from before this.
mhm.
And I watched this one video yesterday of Kelley and Scott from 3 years ago. I just wanna show you, like, a couple videos. Um, this is, uh this is Kelley and Scott 3 years ago on their 18-year marriage, and, it
Wow.
says it lost my, audio. Let me just pull it up again. I'm just gonna show you a little bit, and then I wanna show you one other clip of her talking,
Mhm.
just about depression and about Scott. I think it's really, really telling.
That somebody has right next to you all the time. I don't know. I think that's
And
worth, I think, to that. It's like that knowing that somebody has right next to you all the time. I don't know. I think that's spectacular.
The five of us have to stay together as long as we can. It just feels right, doesn't it?
For 6 seasons, Scott Wolf starred as Bailey Salinger in the beloved 90s teen drama Party of Five.
This is fantastic.
And
So
2
cute.
decades later, the 53-year-old actor recently finished his 3rd season of the CW mystery series Nancy Drew.
You're my daughter, and you can still do the right thing. You may have their blood, but you're a Drew at heart.
Nancy Drew has just been a gift from top to bottom. The cast, the crew, the producers and writers, it's a great personal experience. It's a great creative experience. They gave me a chance to direct for the first time, which I loved. And getting to season 4 on a show is just not a given in this day and age. It's an uphill climb. And so we're all really proud to have made it this far and feel like we've got a lot of story left to tell.
Meanwhile, Scott's wife, Kelley, was in the 2000 cast of MTV's The Real World New Orleans.
You're going for that?
I want that.
Seriously, we'll obviously sleep in the same bed anyway, so I don't know why we're talking about it.
And today, she's a successful life coach and author of the recently published book, Flow, Finding Love Over Worry, a Recipe for Living Joyfully.
I wrote the book Flow, which is finding love over worry, but flow as a concept, as a technique, I've been using in my practice. I'm a coach for 10 years. It was something that I created probably, I don't know, a couple years into my practice, because I would hear people say things like, oh, I was in flow and that happened, or that felt like flow, or this feels like flow. And I remember thinking, like, what is that? What is that elusive thing that people love to talk about and they feel like it was a gift, but they can't figure out how to get to it or how to access it? So I just started listening. Every time I was
It's like
working with somebody, I would pay
100%
attention
different
to,
person, Michael
if they
says.
talked about flow, I listened to what got them there, what was happening around them. And it was really, literally, no joke, a map. It was, if you chose love over the fear of the thing, if you chose the desire to do something over your worry, you would tap into this sense of flow. And it was whether you were surfing or baking, it didn't matter. You had to do those things on a big scale and a small scale. And so I started testing it, and I would test it with my clients. And over time, I'm like, oh, this actually is helping people access the flow state. So I kind of just transitioned and used it.
Isn't that wild?
Okay, so first of all, you and I both do media. You and I both have been in this world. That, everything she said, she sounded brilliant. She sounded thoughtful. And People Magazine, they didn't want that interview with her. They wanted Scott Wolf. The reason the reason that they included all of that content is because she was thoughtful and intelligent and well spoken.
They liked her a lot.
They liked her a
Yes.
lot. Otherwise, they could have just cut her out, kept all the
It was a
cute Scott
long,
Wolf
yes,
stuff.
it was like a long spiel about flow.
Yeah, and so they gave her that time to shine because they believed in what she was saying and they thought she wasn't BSing them. Yeah, I mean, I watched a lot of the podcasts she did prior to this chaos, and I thought the same thing. Like, she is in it. She is emotionally invested. She cares about her mental health. She cares about your mental health. I mean, when on her Flow podcast, you really got the sense that she was compassionate and caring about other people. That's why it's so hard for us to process this pivot. And that's
Same.
why mental health is so important.
100%. And I really wanted to show this and show this other clip really fast because I really wanted people to understand this was important for me too, because you forget who someone is when you only see this side of them. And you kind of almost demonize them because you see this negative side of them. And she has become, in this state, a very hard to sympathize person because she's become nasty and she's become mean and she's become angry and she's become unlikable, sexual, drinking, drugs, cigarettes, anti, like, that, But actually, she's a good person. And she's just sadly not on the right medication right now. And like, I just want to show you this one other thing really fast, you guys.
Yeah.
This was 5 years ago. I'm going to make it a little faster because she's speaking on a stage. It's not the whole thing, but she's talking about postpartum depression. And I found it really interesting.
My third child was 6 weeks old, and we were living in Los Angeles, and I was in the fight of my life. I had been hijacked by a very, very severe form of postpartum depression. when you're in that place, it's not only entirely terrifying, it's all encompassing. I was afraid of my shadow. I was afraid to go outside. I was afraid every time my kids moved a muscle. I would sit down with my incredible husband and say things with just complete honesty and sincerity. I would say, I'm not supposed to be here. I don't think you're hearing me. I'm going to anchor you guys for the rest of your lives. It'd be easier for everybody if I just left. And I could see the terror in his eyes in those moments. And I still, to this day, am beyond grateful for him for standing by my side, because he didn't leave my side.
Oh my God, doesn't it
And
make you
one
want to
day I
cry?
called a friend of
Yes.
named Libby Moore. And this is going to seem like a name drop, but I don't mean it that way. She was Oprah's chief of staff for 13 years. And she's one of my best friends. And she is a person who has wisdom beyond what you see most often on this planet.
I'm going to let you guys watch that later. I thought that was so important to watch, kind of for Scott.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
hopefully anyone that's watching this to see it, to understand that I do believe I'm missing a nail. My nails keep popping off these times. So I hate them putting that, but it's like I'm using my nails and I look horrible there. I want everyone to understand, like, I do think she loves Scott.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel so sad for Scott. He's getting villainized so much right now. And I think there's like real love there between them. And clearly she's gone through the ups and downs here.
Right. I mean, I feel horrible because I am a solutions person and I don't know what the solution is here. I wish I could say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, but I'm certainly not an expert in this arena. All I can say is that I'm rooting for both of them, whether that's
Same.
together or separately. But mostly I want their children to find peace and be happy, because when your kids are having to chime in on the online chaos, that is the worst of the worst of the worst, because they're still having to go to school and people are looking at them and people are whispering and they're going home and they're eating dinner and their parents are talking about this at the dinner table. And their friends' parents are talking about this at the dinner table, and then they're going home and they're repeating what their mom or dad said, around the cafeteria table. So I feel really, really sorry for them. And I hope that they can figure out what this is. There's the new Kanye documentary that's coming out that I probably won't be watching because he's an anti-Semite.
I know. I love you for saying that, but I'm actually kind of interested in this one.
But watching Kim crying in that trailer,
Why
saying,
are you
like,
changing? You're changing.
yes. So maybe we'll get a little insight into into this world in that way. I mean, mental health is something that we should all have a better understanding of how to navigate. It has become so bad post-COVID. I think COVID sent a lot of people spiraling. We were lonely. We were unemployed. We were scared. And, I wish I had a better understanding of how to navigate this and how to handle it. But obviously Scott's been through some really tough times with her before. These people were together for 2 decades. And so the fact that he has supported her through so much, and that something's happened, that something was the final straw. Is it a refusal to get help? Is it a refusal to change the medication? Because sometimes you have to do that. Sometimes the doctor says this has stopped working. We're gonna go through a roller coaster until we figure out what works. And some people say, my body can't handle that. I mean, we don't know.
Or maybe she got introduced to something new. Like she's been talking about that Eric Nies guy, from Real World or whatever. Like maybe she's like, oh, I'm going to try psychedelics or mushrooms or whatever,
Yes.
which is also very dangerous. Like we'll definitely still watch it. I have a guest coming up. I'm going to try to get him on for next week. He is very, very big on Instagram. He goes by the bipolar guy or something along those lines. And he talks about his life being like severely bipolar.
Oh,
and he
wow.
talks about like the process and stuff and mania and everything. And I'm very interested in talking to him about that story.
will be
because I think
watching
so
that.
many people. Yeah, I think so many people struggle with this. And, unless you go through it or like have someone that is really struggling with it in your life, it's very hard to understand what
Yeah.
the story is,
Mhm.
But anyway, all the prayers for that family. Whoa.
Right. I totally agree with you. I think that those little babies I just kept thinking, oh, God, how gorgeous are her babies. I wish I wasn't seeing them this way, but
Right.
so sweet. I mean, they were just so sweet and and kind, and they were so relaxed and calm considering this situation, which it tells you that they have a very good upbringing.
I know. Well, all the love to that family, and hoping that things hopefully start to turn around there. But oh my gosh, Kinsey, you spent over an hour with us. Can you tell everyone a little bit about your show and where they can find you so they can get all of the updates on the family, the royals?
Yeah, I pretty much do 24/7 royal family coverage at Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. You can get your royal fix. And of course, right now we're on Meghan Markle watch, thanks to With Love Megyn and the Bloomberg interview.
MMW.
Yeah, but otherwise, we talk about all of them: King Charles, Prince William, Catherine, and yeah, come follow me at Kinsey Schofield Unfiltered. I'd love to have you.
Yes, you're the best. And I'm going to be back on your show next week at some point. And
Yes.
yeah, you keep me posted about all that kind of stuff, because I don't go there.
You will after a few weeks on my show. So you're gonna be level expert.
Oh my God, I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Kinsey. You guys, I appreciate it. You're so sweet. Everyone's very loving of you, except some people that will go to, bat for Meghan Markle until the death. But anyway.
Yeah, enjoy. Go enjoy With Love Megyn.
Exactly.
8 new episodes available for you.
Oh my God, there's a lot there. Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Another beautiful weekend. Shabbat shalom. Appreciate you guys being here. Go and follow and subscribe to Kinsey. Have a great weekend. Talk to you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.